everybody, it's your boy Andy Bivians. It's Bivians, for I am the one true daddy of Bivians, INC, your American icon. And here we have another episode of Know Thy Neighbor. With me today, I'd like to introduce the man, CJ. What's up, man?
I am good. Yeah. Never been on a podcast in my life, so a little.
Oh, this is awesome. We're going to have some fun today, then.
Yes.
So how are you, man? Good?
A little nervous, but I'm good. Life's been a little back and forth, so it's just been kind of, everything everywhere all the time. So it's good to, chill and just chat,
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. So then I'm going to start off with the first question.
Okay.
Hardest question of them all. Hope you're ready for it.
I'm ready.
Are you happy?
I'd like to say I am. There are aspects of my life at this moment where I could be happier, but I do have a lot of things in life to be thankful for and to be very happy about. So I'd say yes.
Okay. What makes you happiest the most?
Making people, I was going to say making people laugh, but not just laugh, just making people feel good and entertaining them and distracting them for 2 seconds in a day, That's something that I definitely enjoy.
All right. That's dope. What would you say? So let's go to your earliest childhood memories. What would you say your most impactful childhood memory was?
Most impactful was my trip to Washington, D.C. with my grandparents. Okay. And I got to shake George Bush's hand, which was kind of cool. Yeah.
Wait, hold on, what?
Yeah. Well, because he is friends with somebody in the Secret Service who is retired now.
Uh-huh.
But, we used to have dinners with them, not George Bush.
Yeah.
With this, the guy who he's friends with who ended up going into the Secret Service, him and his wife. And I was just always like, oh, my granddad's friend. And then I heard the story as a teenager. I'm like, I'm at the Secret Service. And I also shook George Bush's hand when I went to Washington, D.C. I got to stand at the podium. I got pictures somewhere.
That's wild. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How old were you when you went?
I was 9 or 10, around there. I was a child. So I wasn't able to appreciate it, but I still had a very good time, and I definitely, hearing the story after the fact was kind of like, that's who I met. Oh, okay, cool.
That's dope. That's wild.
Yeah, it was fun, and a lot of good memories, a lot of good trips as a kid. I was never wanting for anything as a child, it's always good. That's what I want for my kids in the future. So, yeah.
That's cool.
I'll always like those memories.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I can't say I've ever shaken the president's hand before, so that's really cool.
Knowing that now is kind of a different feeling. I was just like, this strange man in a suit.
You're
because I was not political as a 10-year-old, obviously. But, yeah.
That's really cool. So, did you have you went to the White House to visit them, or did you have dinners in the White House?
We went on a White House tour. We had dinner. This was one of the times we had dinner with his friend from the Secret Service and his wife. They gave us a little presidential ornament for our tree on Christmas, which was cool. And then we did an entire White House tour. And I remember there was one thing that stood out because it made me feel like a little adult at the time, because I was the only one actually listening. As a kid, everybody else was just going because there was a school trip or something.
Yeah.
But I was looking, listening. I was doing the little chart games on the little pamphlets and stuff. I was loving it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was a fun time.
That's cool. That's cool. So what would you say as a kid, what was your worst / most difficult moments of your life?
Definitely the most difficult was probably just as a situation, my relationship with my mother was probably a little difficult. Barely saw her. Most of the memories that I have of her are 2 seconds and fairly negative. And, a lot of the stuff about her I didn't find out till she passed, which was at a very young age. I think it was like 13, 14.
Oh, I'm
Not
sorry
too
to hear
young,
that.
but still fairly young. And that was probably like the most traumatic experience of my life as a child, early on. Um, but I did gain a relationship with my two youngest sisters after that, which was cool.
Oh,
Because
cool.
they reached out to me after the funeral, because they had a separate one in Arizona, and we had one here because they can't, obviously. So after their funeral, they called me, and we just haven't really stopped talking since then. At least my second youngest, you know.
Oh, that's cool. It's always cool to have a relationship with your sisters.
Yeah, yeah. No, family is definitely cool. Definitely, I wouldn't say all family is cool, but the aspect of a family and doing stuff for your kin and just out of sheer love is always a good feeling.
Were you closer with your dad or?
I was really closer with my grandparents than my actual parents.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad, he wasn't really around, and he was a little rocky start as far as a father goes. So he wasn't really around too much. Really, as far as like from like 8 months old, I was with my grandparents.
Okay. Okay. With your sisters, did you ever have a relationship with your sisters when you were younger, or did it kind of just?
It was really, we were separate until like they turned about 14 and 16.
Okay.
And then they started actually reaching out, trying to call me every day, and that's when I was actually starting to work. So I was busy, didn't really talk to them too much, and then mom died.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's switch to a happier moment. Let's
Sorry.
no. I love to hear stuff like that because I resonate with that. Me and my sister, I think we had a bond when we were younger, but we had a bigger bond growing up. You know what I mean? And so I definitely resonate with that. What would you say is one of your happiest moments as a child?
Happiest moments as a child, oddly enough, is one with my dad. Fishing with him at this gigantic waterfall. And me and him just kind of, he was teaching me how to fish, like big fish, because I was a sunny fisher, as a
Okay.
kid, tiny little guys near the bed, but he was teaching me to actually like go for like larger fish. Couldn't tell you what the hell fish we were fishing for because I was not listening. I was just enjoying the view and watching my dad fish and just talking with him, and that was one of few very positive memories as a kid with my dad.
That's awesome.
He's not a villain or anything.
Yeah.
Just doesn't click.
Okay. No,
But,
understandable.
definitely one of my more happy memories as a kid. I think on it often.
Okay. That's awesome. What would you say overall is your biggest fear?
My biggest irrational fear is heights.
Okay.
Actually, no. That's second. Water. I'm actually very scared of water.
Really?
Yeah. Swimming pools, bathtubs, fine. Rivers and stuff, maybe. Lakes, lakes, oceans, and anything in between, hate it. I don't even like going on boats.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely hate it.
Did you have like an experience with it where like it kind of changed that?
Unless I drowned as a kid and nobody told me, But I never figured out why the hell I got this fear. Everything else I'm fine with. The dark, as a kid I was a little bit, but who wasn't?
Yeah.
Really anything else, I can just like shake it off and keep going. But heights and water, like open water, can't do them.
That's wild.
Can't do them.
I understand heights. Heights. I mean, depending on how high you get up, then you start looking down. You're just like, oh, wait, hold on.
If I was down there in the next couple of seconds, I'd be dead.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I've ever received is don't think too hard on what others think about you.
Ooh, that's a bar. That is a
Yeah.
bar. All right.
Not keep it out of your mind, but also don't let it influence who you are as a person. Like, obviously, if you're being a dick, or do we curse?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're being a dick, somebody's going to tell you, and listen to them. Don't just do whatever you want, but also don't be a doormat. So that's how I interpreted it, and it resonated with me for a long time, and it got me out of wanting attention to wanting to give people a break in my form of how I want to be an entertainer.
Okay.
Instead of being like me, it's more like you, and I want to give people a couple seconds of not giving a crap about anything. So I feel like once I started thinking like that, I started doing more as far as like entertainment.
Okay. What have y'all? What did you do in entertainment?
I got into singing in high school and college, and I did a couple plays in college as well, which was fun. Didn't really do too much with it afterward, but it definitely opened up my like creative mind of being like, hey, I can make stuff on my own, and people might like it. So that's when I really started doing YouTube and started being more present on my social medias. And I'm still very small. I'm under 100 followers on YouTube right now. I got about 200 and something on TikTok. So I'm a small creator, but I still have fun and people like it.
All
So
right.
if more people end up liking it, great. If not, I don't need to be famous. I just want somebody to remember me and be like, hey, that helped. Thank you.
Facts. I dig that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do this again at the end, so that way you guys hear it twice. Disaster Party peoples, I know y'all rock with us. We rock with him. So let them know where they can find you on YouTube and TikTok.
Yep. So on YouTube, it's something funny, spelled very weird. I did this when I was like 12, but it's ITZS0ME thing funny. It's so weird.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It's gonna be a lot easier for you to just click that link later on. So
That's fantastic.
and then on TikTok is Leonine Loser.
Okay.
That's when I started growing my hair out. I'm like, ooh, feel like a lion. So I was just like, fuck it. But yeah, so Leonine Loser on TikTok, and It's Something Funny on YouTube.
Facts. All right. Yeah, we're going to drop the links in the comments or in the description so you guys can click it. If you're on YouTube, you can click it. You could find him. If you're on TikTok and watching this, we'll put it in. We'll put it in the show link, so as soon as you click the show, you could see it. Definitely follow him. Subscribe to him. It's going to be awesome. I promise you that. So let's talk about like big world things that happened. Do you remember an experience of where you were either, during like a recession or during 9/11 at all?
I was a child. I was an absolute child at that time. Not a thought in my head about the political or socioeconomic issues of the world. And I just knew everybody was sad, so I had to be sad.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously I know and, appreciate the situation for what it is now. But at the time, I didn't, I was very in my own head at that point of my life. So I didn't really focus on any external things.
Understandable.
As far as like a recession, again, like I said, I wanted for nothing as a kid. I was lucky. I had that privilege as a kid. I thoroughly enjoyed and could have done a lot more with. But yeah, I never really had to worry, which I really thank my grandparents for.
Okay.
They made it so I didn't have to be scared or sad or concerned about my future, and I really appreciate them for that. That's really all I have to say on that is I got lucky,
Okay. So, who would you say your favorite grandparent was?
Can we cut this or like no?
No, yeah, no. Listen, you can.
No, my grandmother, she coddled the crap out of me. So but my granddad was tough love. I appreciate him, but like me and my grandmother always clicked. We laughed, we bullshitted. First time I cursed comfortably around her, she was like, but then she was just like cool with it, and then as I grew up, it became a little bit stronger of a connection. More like instead of just being family, we also had a friend bond, where we could talk.
Okay.
And so I would say her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If I had to choose.
If you had to
Yes.
choose. I mean, we all know that you love them equally.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, I remember going to grandma's house and getting them fresh cookies, and grandpa would be like, nah, he had enough. She'd be like, go on, baby, you need to eat. Is there anybody that you can say you compare yourself to and or look up to? And if so, why?
I would say I probably have two answers for that, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
The
Floor is yours.
Probably compare myself to, not in a positive way, is my dad. There's not a whole lot that I'm doing now that he hasn't already been doing.
Okay.
And it feels like every day I'm getting more and more like him, not in the best way.
Okay.
So I fight that a lot. But I'd say somebody I look up to a lot is my cousin, Vito. He's in the military at the moment. He doesn't really talk to me, but I do know he's doing a lot of decent stuff at the moment. He's engaged.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's moving out of his place. He's actually keeping it, renting it out, and finding a new place. So
That's awesome.
He's very successful and very awesome guy, and I'm very proud of him. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to
he knows.
Vito.
oh yeah,
Thank you for your services, man. What is your unbreakable dream?
My unbreakable dream, and I've had it for a while, is
Okay.
I want to eventually live comfortably enough to open up an animal sanctuary and also live on it, like so
That's
I can
dope.
give them full-time care as
Okay.
well as, open it up to the public and show people the proper, care and respect that the animals need, and to show people like where these animals go when they're neglected and not taken care of,
So are we talking like dogs and cats, or are we talking like lions, tigers, and bears? Oh my.
Oh my.
That's awesome.
Like at some point I would like to have individual sanctuaries, because certain animals need certain things and certain areas are not great for that. So having individual environments for these individual animals would be great. That's down the line. My main goal is to have a place where I can protect and maintain the lives of, down on their luck creatures of all kinds,
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely been thinking about that since I was about like 16, 17.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. When you say you want to help people or take people out of situations, like you could see through like your dreams and stuff, like that's where you're trying to go. And like, that's awesome. We need a lot more people like that because there's so many people out there now that are just like, all right, what can I get out of this? You know what I mean? There's never anybody that's like giving back. So I think that's really dope. Have you ever had a near death experience?
I don't think so, actually. Again,
Okay.
I've been pretty lucky.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's good that you have
know
it.
what? No, actually. This guy came from me getting hit by a car. I forgot about that.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Pause. That's a near death experience to me.
I mean, I was lucid the entire time. I didn't feel like it was a near death experience. It felt just like a bullshit thing that happened. He dipped. He absolutely just ran away.
What a dick.
Yeah. I was on my bike in the middle of the night and I did a little Charlie Brown football kickflip, like the whole and landed in some rocks. This is the only thing, and then a couple down here. That's it that I got from that.
Oh, man.
But I don't know who the officer is, but there's a certain officer that comes in case somebody is dead. And like somebody called him in being like, yeah, we don't know. So
That's wild.
So I guess, yeah, I always thought of a near-death experience as like life flashing before my eyes. This is it. I'm ready. No.
I mean,
I was awake for the entire thing and it sucked.
ooh.
Yeah.
Did you break any other bones, or did you like have a concussion, or
Bruised a hip and sprained a toe.
wait, hold on.
Bruised a hip and sprained a toe. I bruised a hip where I got hit. and I sprained a toe, but I got steel toe boots on at the time, so I was good. But I went like, gah, bam, on the ground and into a rock. So,
Yo,
but I did not hit my head. Thank God.
well, that's it. Yeah, that's it. We are, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Disaster Party podcast. We are talking to the real life Superman over here. Okay,
Unbreakable.
Literally the definition of unbreakable.
God.
That's why. I mean, I'm glad you're okay, but that's
Me too.
wild.
Me too. My girlfriend at the time was freaking out. She booked it down the road because I was like 5 minutes from home. You know, I was 5 minutes from home, and she just booked it down the road in her car and was like, "Where is he?" Like she pushed through. Like.
I can't even imagine the conversation of being like, "Hey, babe, I just got hit by a car."
I did. I called her while I was on the ground. I was like, "Where'd my phone go?" And somebody picked it up from like it went, you know. But
Wait, so you had your phone on you?
yeah.
Was it one of them Nextel joints that like were unbreakable back in the day, or
no? It was an iPhone.
it was an iPhone?
Spider webs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Immediately.
Ab-
But it worked. Still worked. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here today to tell that story,
Me too.
but wow, that's
I
wild.
forgot about that shit. I tend to forget unless I look at it. I'm like, oh yeah, I got hit by
It's like, wait a second.
because this is almost 2 years back now.
Oh,
Yeah.
so this is recent.
This is Arizona.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And did they ever find the guy or no?
No, I had to pay out of pocket because I didn't have insurance at the time, so that sucked. Yeah.
What a dick.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I got some things to say about him, but I won't.
understandable. Understandable.
Yeah.
So switching to, well, kind of staying on that same path. Have you ever had any supernatural experiences?
So I don't really like think I believe in supernatural. I just think of like, call it like not supernatural. I would think of it more as like unexplained.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot of experiences that I can't explain. Some are just like normal, like, you know, something just fell perfectly. I'm like, whoa, you know, that's so coincidental. Are we in the Matrix? What's going on? You know, those little specific circumstances. But as far as like seeing something and not knowing what it is,
Yeah.
or seeing something that people say they've seen before, not really. You know, personally, I haven't really. I used to be very into it when I was like, I was into hunting cryptids as a kid. You
Okay.
know, hunting cryptids. I just went out into the woods and tried looking for them, you know. But, at that time, I believed everything was something, you know. Everything was something supernatural. Like, oh man, that squirrel looked at me funny. It must be a shapeshifter, you know, like that.
Okay.
Level of everything is something mystical. And not that nothing is, I just haven't seen anything. So I can't say that, you know, it's fact. It's just something I don't know yet.
That's cool. That keeps your mind. Very creative.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
open.
As a kid, I definitely did a lot of like artwork and stuff on just stuff that I thought about, you know.
That's cool.
Stories, stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What would you say your most cherished memory was?
My most cherished memory. Took me a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, take your time.
I recently lost my dog when I moved because I couldn't afford to keep her, and I had a very kind person come through and take her in, and she's very comfortable. I'm happy about that, but it sucked. She was definitely a beacon of light in my life for a while because my grandparents were going through cancer. They both passed in October and not this October, about 2019.
Okay.
And she was around. She was like one of the few things I still had in my life at that time because at that point I just didn't have anything to keep me in New York. So I took her and I left, and she was just definitely the best thing around in my life for the longest time. I would say she as a whole is my most cherished memory. She's recent, but I think about her constantly and like almost every single day. You
That's
know?
awesome. What was her name?
Pebbles.
Pebbles?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What type of dog was she?
Pure Goldie.
Ah, nice.
She came from a breeder friend that we went to this family campground with.
Yeah.
So we had her mom, Pumpkin, and she came. and like they met each other for like the first time after she was born at camp, and oh my god, like she was all, and then just dropped belly up. Like I think she knew at least that they knew each other, not that it was her mom, but you know, I always thought that was cute.
That's awesome.
She's just a living good memory, you know? Like she's still around. She is very comfortable in Phoenix right now. I just the number of the people that took her in, I don't have it anymore. And I have no idea how to get it because it was on my iPhone and I don't have my iCloud access anymore. And yeah.
If you guys are seeing this and you know this man and you have his dog, reach out. I know y'all got his number.
Dog. No.
I know y'all got his number. Reach out and let this man know how his dog's doing.
By some coincidence that happens, I'd be overjoyed. I haven't seen or heard anything about her in going on 2 years now, and it sucks.
Do you remember what the owner's name was? No.
I think John. That's all I remember.
Yeah. John, damn it. Reach out to this man.
Because he has my old number. That's the thing. I don't have that number anymore. I haven't had that number like 3 numbers ago. Because that was the number that I had when my ex kind of gave me a phone
Gotcha.
out of love and took it away out of hate after we were exes. Ooh. You know? So
Understandable.
After that, I kind of haven't really had access to that account and can't get that number back.
Well, at the end of this episode, we're going to put all of your information. So, John, if you see this, find this man. Would you say that was your biggest regret in life, or do you think there's another one?
Letting go of my dog?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. I have a lot of regrets in my life, but what I feel was good for her, but also bad for her and me, was letting her go. Because I've had her since she was a puppy, and then just within days, she was gone. You know? So, and like as I left her, I had to get immediately on a plane.
Oh, man. So you didn't even have her that long, right?
I did not. I had her for, well, she was 6. So I had her for 6 years. But before, like, from the time of knowing she has a place to stay and giving her to that person, it was almost instant. I hated it.
Wow.
Yeah. That is definitely my biggest regret.
Damn. John, give him his dog back.
No,
give him his dog back.
No, I regret it, but I know it's better for her there. That's the thing. Is like it sucks, but it's the best thing for her. You know?
All right, John. You can keep the dog.
Pebbles, you got her. You're good.
But at least send this man some video or some pictures or some shit. Do something. Nah.
Like a Christmas card.
Right? Put the little Santa hat and the elf hat on.
Oh, hell yeah.
What would you say your biggest drive / motivation is in life?
The pursuit of happiness as a whole is probably my biggest drive for myself and others.
Okay.
I can get angry very easily, and when that happens, I regret it immediately, and because that's not who I want to be. I want to be the person that helps people not be upset anymore, not upset them further. So when I do something like that, I'm just like, but yeah. So I would say like the pursuit of happiness, mine and others, is my biggest goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's dope. So where do you see yourself within, so we'll have 3 different ones, in 5 years, 10 years, and like retirement?
5 years, hopefully Syracuse with my, at that time, going to be wife, because you know,
okay.
I absolutely love my girlfriend. It's only been 6 months, but it feels like forever at this point. You know, we see each other pretty frequently for the distance, you know, Syracuse.
That's awesome.
So definitely married with her in our house and starting our next chapter, you know. Like within 5 years, that's my goal, is to be out there with her and her kid. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What advice would you give your younger self?
Stop chasing girls and stay in school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
They
right.
don't want you yet. You need school, bro. Just do your homework, dude. Like, no, that my biggest thing. I hated school, and I needed it so bad. You know, a lot of the stuff I learned is just secondhand stuff, and it's like just learned to do my own taxes. 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bad because I've had somebody to help me with it ever since. Or before that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just kind of just spaced on what I was saying.
I think like everything that we do and everything we learn in life is like our own journey. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we all arrive there at different times and different paths. But all right.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, like I said, I have a lot of regrets, but they all led me here to where I am with who I'm with and the people I'm around. So I can't complain,
Okay.
Dumb things I do. Everybody does dumb things when they're young,
Fair.
So, but yeah.
What
Definitely should have done my homework though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What so I've asked this question to multiple people and I think I'm gonna keep this on the Know Thy Neighbor episodes.
Yeah.
I have a certain view on when I hear it being said to me, and as I ask this to different people, my perspective on it changes somewhat. I still have the same core value on it, but it changes to be a little less lighter. What is your feeling or what is your perspective on somebody telling you to be realistic?
Definitely makes me want to just put them through a wall. How are you going to tell me what's realistic for my own life and my path? I don't believe in telling somebody what they can't do. Rather, supporting them in what they want to try and do. If they fail, they learn. But if you're going to tell them that they're going to fail immediately and they internalize that, then what did that accomplish besides limiting a path for somebody? I don't believe in telling somebody to an extent. Somebody's going to be
Fair.
I'm going to be the president one day, relative to I want to be the president right now. Like, you're 6. You're not,
You're not going to be president right now.
You know?
But one day.
Or being the president by all means. But, somebody saying they want to be an artist and the parents or family in general or friends are just like, come on, dude, really? Like, what are you gonna get with an art degree or something like that? Who knows what they're gonna get with that art degree? They could be doing something like this. They could be running a conglomerate, of some kind, as far as like social media in general goes. But starting from somewhere and working towards whatever your goal is, I don't believe you should let anybody tell you what is realistic in your path in life.
I 1000% agree with that wholeheartedly.
Awesome.
So I got one more question for you. This has been awesome. I've definitely learned so many things about you, especially shaking the hand of the President of the United States of America. And fucking John.
George Bush, if you're watching. But
yeah, come back and shake this man's hand again.
definitely.
And then take a picture with us. It'll be awesome. So last but not least, what would you say is one thing that, one moment or one key phrase or somebody talking to you that has changed the trajectory of your life?
A phrase that somebody has said to me?
Either a phrase or a moment that's happened.
I mean, there's a few small ones just because I internalize everything. So
Okay.
That's the thing is for a while I just anything anybody ever said to me I was like okay that's the right thing. I'm gonna think that now.
Okay.
As a sheep. So I mean, but I would say one is It was in school, and it was this dude who suspiciously looks like an older version of me. Now that I'm thinking about it, like looking at what he looked like, I'm just like, ooh, that could be me later on. He called me retarded in the middle of class, and I internalized that so hard for like a year and a half, being like, I ain't nothing but a dumb little special needs kid. Because I was in special needs courses at that time, and he straight up called me retarded. He did not keep his job.
Wait, hold on. That was
his job.
That was a teacher.
That was like a teaching aide. He wasn't the actual teacher. He was a teaching aide that was in the class with us, like 3 days out of the week.
I don't understand that. Like, you're working with kids.
I can only assume he was on his last freaking straw, you know, and something I said or something somebody else said just got him, and he just. But that is not me advocating for him to say what he said to me.
No, absolutely not.
Not at all. But I get it. You know, I wouldn't do it personally, but I get how somebody could get to that point. I just also don't understand how you could say that to a kid, especially when you're helping in a special needs course.
Yeah.
You know?
So how did you pull yourself out of that? Like,
I told my grandparents.
Okay.
I just internalized that, and I was like, yeah, I got called retarded today in the middle of class. And they were like, by who? And it became a thing, and he lost his job. But, yeah, I even after he was gone, I just internalized that for like a year and a half. And it took my granddad telling me, like, don't ever listen to what people are telling you, you know. He wasn't the one that told me, like, don't think too hard on what others tell you. He was always like, don't give a fuck. Like, don't give a crap.
Yeah.
What people think about you. And that he internalized that hard. And I guess it helped me get out of that zone when he started talking to me like that, when he was just like, he basically had that suck it up attitude, don't listen to other people. And I didn't get it at first, but it started to resonate later on, you know? So it got me out of that funk of like, I'm nothing but a dumb kid, you know?
So is that like what kind of motivates you now to kind of like, because earlier you said like you want to entertain people, you want to kind of like take their minds. I completely understand that, because that's my way of thinking as well, where you just want to take people's minds away for like 2 or 3 minutes or like 20 minutes or however long you can. Was that like a big motivator for you to get into doing that? Or
in the back of my mind, I could probably see it having some influence. I can't say that I directly thought of it as a driving point, but I'm sure it molded me into thinking that way. It was pretty early in my life when I decided that I wanted to like entertain people, you know. So, I yes, I guess you could say I did.
All right, that's dope.
I'll just drone, man. I'll just keep going. That yes will be like 2 minutes long, you know.
If you want, go for it.
But yeah, I could say that it did. It did kind of like drive me to want to be a more positive influence in just people's lives in general.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. You have now heard. This is why we're the Disaster Party Podcast. Disaster-ish. We let it all out. But thank you for joining us here.
Definitely.
This has been fun. This has been very motivating and eye-opening, and I appreciate you opening up to us and opening up to the Disaster Party fans.
Definitely.
So let them know again where they can find you, John, where you can send that fucking picture. Send the fucking picture. Let them know where they can find you, follow you, your socials. We'll put it down in the description so that way you guys can click it, follow him. We'll throw it up on socials. We'll tag you, and then, we'll have our people share your stuff, you know?
Definitely. So, YouTube, It's Something Funny, spelt the weird way I told you before. And we'll have that in the link probably, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So I'm not going to spell it again. And then Leonine Loser on TikTok. And then John, God, I hope that's your name, CJ Wolfie 200 on Instagram. Y'all can follow me there too if you want. But yeah, that's it.
Send them the picture. Nah.
Send me Christmas cards, please.
Christmas card with the hat on it. We want the hat. It needs to have the hat and the jingle. So as always, please like, share, rate, review, subscribe to All Things Disaster Party Podcast. Follow us on YouTube so you can see our pretty faces. And thank you for joining us. As always, I am the one true whoa daddy, Andy Bivians. This is my buddy,
CJ.
and we are out. Bye.